Boris Johnson continued to shake hands after his own scientific advisors warned it could spread the coronavirus.
Here's a summary of the article.
Boris Johnson continued to shake hands at public events after his own scientific advisors warned that doing so would risk spreading the coronavirus. At a meeting on March 3, the papers reveal that there was agreement that government should advise against greetings such as shaking hands and hugging, given existing evidence about the importance of hand hygiene. Johnson continued to shake hands at multiple public events and media appearances, in the days that followed. On the day of the meeting, Johnson told a press conference in Downing Street that, "I'm shaking hands continuously. I was at a hospital the other night where there were actually a few coronavirus patients and I shook hands with everybody." 2 days after the advice on handshaking, Johnson appeared on ITV's This Morning program during which he shook host Philip Schofield's hand, despite the presenter's apparent reluctance. Johnson replied that, "I've been going around hospitals as you can imagine and always shake hands." A spokesman for the Prime Minister was unable on Tuesday to say whether Johnson had seen the advice not to shake hands.
This post received a score of 18,000, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I wonder how many people he infected, or even killed, in his lame attempt to pretend everything's okay.
I'm sure we will be analyzing that number for a number of world leaders.
And they should be held accountable for their crimes. If someone with HIV transmits it to someone else and doesn't disclose that they knew they had it, it is a felony.
I mean, we should probably analyze the spread of STIs caused by Johnson too.
We call them children nowadays. His Wikipedia page says at least 6 children.
Greater than at least.
Even if Boris is now immune, he could get the virus on his hands from someone and pass it to the next person.
He really should not be allowed to touch people. Any elected official should not be touching anyone during a pandemic.
Or just in general. They are in contact with many, many people during a normal day. So even when in more normal times they'll be exposed way more than anyone else and also be a potential spreader.
These world leaders really suck at their job.
So do the voters who elected them.
But which came first? The apathetic voter or the ignorant leader?
The egg.
The egg did come before the chicken. Evolution is random genetic mutation plus selection plus descent with modification. At whichever generation you differentiate chicken last ancestor from chicken, when that animal laid an egg with the final random genetic mutation that made it a chicken, well, there you have it, the first ever chicken egg, laid by the last ancestor of the chicken.
And then he nearly died. Fucking genius over there.
This crisis has taught me that you can be a world class at manipulating people without being intelligent in any other way than that.
Wasn't this news a month ago? Doesn't everyone already know this? Business Insider on the ball as usual.
Is there no new news today?
ITT, headline hunters. This was before he got sick. He only returned to office this week.
Sure, but just because he wasn't outwardly sick yet doesn't mean he couldn't have spread it.
In 1990, English MP John Gummer was so confident that British beef didn't have mad cow disease and that it couldn't be passed to humans he fed a burger to his 4-year-old daughter. Of course, it turns out British beef was riddled with BSE. Conservative MPs have a long history of putting their career before public, or in this case family, health.
We know. We already know this. Why is this news?
This isn't really new news though, is it? After that infamous, and you'll be happy to know, I shook hands with everyone, from a hospital visit, which he prefaced seconds earlier with patients having corona there, lol, he got diagnosed himself like a week or 2 later. This was all back in March though, I'd be shocked to hear he was still doing so now.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.